What's going on, everybody? Figured I'd do a short little video on my way to work this morning on the bike, now that I've had it right at a year, a little over a year. Maybe talk about some of the likes and dislikes, and maybe some of this will help some of you that's kind of thinking about purchasing this bike. As far as the dislikes, I honestly don't have a whole lot. Really just kind of nitpicking a little bit. Number one, I'll start off with the headlight. I ain't crazy about it. I don't dislike it, but I think everybody talks about it, you love it or hate it. I'm kind of in the middle, actually. It's kind of cool looking, but you know, I've thought about actually changing it to the older style FZ10 type headlight. I've seen some bikes on the internet, some concept bikes that look pretty sweet like that, but that's definitely not a deal breaker for me. Some of the plastic on the bike around the rear tail section, around the light back there, that's pretty chintzy. I think Yamaha could have definitely done a better job with that. They snap on there with those little teeny clips that you always seem to lose when you take them off, and I actually took one off not too long ago. It was a bitch getting it back on there. The mapping on the bike also, when you get it stock, it definitely needs a little work, especially in A and B modes. Nails at 2 wheels helps out a lot with that. And that's really negatives, man. That's about all I can say about this thing. The positive side, this is probably the only bike that I've ever had that I just can't see getting rid of it, man. It's a absolute blast to ride. You know, it puts a smile on my face every time I get on it, man. It's just so daggone fun to get out and rip on this thing a little bit. Definitely had a bunch of bikes in the last several years, and to be honest with you, this is my favorite bike of any bike I've ever had. It's more fun than any bike I've ever had. I just kind of feel like Yamaha finally did something that I wanted them to do. I had an FZ1. I loved that bike. That's what got me hooked on the upright riding position and the naked feel, but it didn't have enough power for me. Awesome bike, but I spent a lot of money on that bike trying to get it to become this bike right here, and you can't do it without investing major money. But handling wise, you can't beat this bike. It handles absolutely awesome. I see a lot of guys that's doing the R1 brake master cylinder conversion, and I get that, especially if you're doing track days and stuff like that. But for me, I honestly, these brakes are as good as I want them to be. I mean, they're awesome. They've got a nice bite to them. They're strong. The Brembo road and track pads definitely makes them a hell of a lot better than what they are from from stock. I will tell you guys, I got a new exhaust coming. Right now I've got the SP Engineering exhaust on here, and I've actually did the under the belly deal where I cut the mid pipe off a little bit, and I love the sound of it idling and at low speeds. But when you get the bike upward toward the upper RPM range of the gears, it's too damn loud and raspy. It's not the loudness that bothers me, but it's too raspy. It almost hurts your ears. But anyway, I've got the Two Brothers S1R coming. Done a bunch of research. I started to drop the dough on the Akrapovich, and I'm not crazy about the sound of it. You know, I mean, and especially putting that much money into one. You can do the Two Brothers 3/4 system for hell, a third of the price. So I'm pretty excited about that. We'll do a video on the installation and maybe some flybys and sound of the new exhaust here pretty soon. I should actually have that in a couple of days, so definitely looking forward to that. But anyway, like I said, there's very few things about this bike that I don't like. I don't think there's a bike out there that's more fun to ride. This bike is like a crazy ass dirt bike on steroids, man. It makes you just hammer it all the time. It's on the back wheel everywhere you go, and you can't help but to act like a damn idiot when you're riding it. I never really did wheelies on this. I mean, I've been on bikes all my life, but I never really would try to ride a wheelie on the street bike. But you know, I started out popping wheelies on this thing, then I started out chasing them out, and now hell, I'm clutching up third gear wheelies and setting it down over 100 miles an hour. I mean, you can't help it. The bike inspires confidence when you ride it. And it's a lot easier to ride too, for in my opinion, than like the BMW and some of the other bikes that are in this class. But on the other hand, it's definitely not for somebody that's don't have a lot of riding experience. One other thing I would say, probably on a negative note, that a beginner, this bike will get you hurt if you don't have a lot of riding experience. Just little things. I've been coming down the road on it, not paying much attention, and it's so easy to turn the throttle that, you know, I've hit a little bump or something in my hand, just kind of go like that and almost turn a damn backflip off the back of it. So I mean, it definitely takes some throttle control, and especially on wheelies, it's really hard to keep it steady. I'm getting better at it, but it does take a little work. It's definitely easy to wheelie, there ain't no doubt. All you got to do is give it some gas and you're doing a wheelie. But my wife's FZ10, my son's got a 2017 FZ10. I can get on one of those bikes, and just a matter of minutes, man, I can ride it on the back wheel down the road. It's just a different feel. But and those bikes are very powerful, absolutely love them, but there is a difference between the two. I would say this bike is just, it's just a little more insane. It's got a harder kick you in the ass hit to it than what the FZ10 does. FZ10 is a great bike. I love it. You wouldn't be unhappy if you bought either one of them. I can tell you that for sure. It is a beautiful morning. It's almost the middle of November. And by the way, we're in just outside of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And almost the middle of November, and the clock's actually wrong. The time's done change. It's 7:45 in the morning, and it is about 63 degrees. I'm glad I wasn't acting like an idiot right there. That's kind of unusual for this road early in the morning. But what a beautiful morning for a ride. Worst thing about riding your bike to work is getting to work, man. You want to just keep on going. You start having fun, and there you are. But gives you something to look forward to, for sure, when you get off at 5 o'clock. We've got so many damn straight roads around here. You don't have a chance to get the bike leaned over that much, so you got to kind of be self-conscious about wearing the center of your damn tires out, even going down the straight road. So that's why I play with it like that sometimes. Anyway, if any of y'all got any questions or anything, let's go right on this bike. Any concerns, any questions at all? If you're thinking about buying one, definitely hit us up, and be glad to answer any of your questions or help you out any way we can. I absolutely love it. Absolutely zero regrets, and I can see me keeping this bike for a long time. Usually when I get a bike, about 2 years, I'm looking for something else. Usually that's related to the fun factor, the torque, and you know, stuff like that, because to me torque is what's fun. I've had a couple R1s, VMAXs, FC1, lots of the older style Hondas. I mean, there's a lot of bikes, and the R1s are 200-mile-an-hour bikes, and they're awesome. I love them, but this bike is so much more comfortable, and like I said, torque is where it's at. I mean, as far as fun, to me, and I think for most people, torque puts a smile on your face when you twist that throttle, and it, you know, it sets you back and pulls real hard like that. I mean, that's what puts a grin on my face, man, every time I get on this thing. This bike is unbelievable. But anyway, like I said, if you have any questions, please let us know. We do appreciate all the views. We're just getting started, so we're kind of new at this. We are getting better. Kendra's actually got an upcoming video on her new Alpine Star Stella leather jacket, so we'll be getting that out there pretty soon. We got the exhaust video coming out, and then a midnight ride on the boulevard in Myrtle Beach. This is the time to come to the beach if you want to ride it. Not really suntanning weather, but it's not hectic, peaceful. It's like you got the whole beach to yourself, and you do catch some 78-degree days even in October and November. So now's the time to head to the beach if you're not looking to party this time of the year. But anyway, like I said, we appreciate everything, folks, and please like our videos and subscribe to us, and we'll keep bringing you the content